Hello guys, welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Alex Whiteley, and today we're coming to you from the Salopian Bar, right at whilst the river's like literally on tippy toes of being flooding. But I feel like this is probably one of the safest places to be because the Salopian Bar's kind of stared in the face of danger for so many years. I just feel like it's like an iconic place to be while this is going on. So let's do it. Let's have it. And I think it's best if we go around the table and introduce ourselves. So we'll start with the gentleman over here. Introduce yourselves to the show.
I'm Kevin Rippard, one of the owners of the Salopian Bar.
And I'm Ollie Parry, other co-owner of the Salopian Bar.
And I'm Shelley Barratt from the Shropshire Ale Trail, Shropshire.
Brilliant. And a special shout out goes to Isla as well, who we've spoken to at the Abbey a couple of times. She's been on the show a couple of times because we organised this last week right while I was doing the Darwin Festival stuff, and I was doing something every single day. I was here, I was there, everywhere, and I didn't put it in the diary, which is really bad. So I'm sat at home and I'm editing and I'm doing stuff, and Isla's like, "Are we still doing today?" And I was like, "The what now?" So we managed to get this together, and thank you guys at the Salopian for letting us do this here. We are here to talk about the Ale Trail, and I think it's really great because Shrewsbury, Shropshire, we have this reputation of being sort of a party county. There's always something going on. There's always something for someone. But I want to speak a bit about the Salopian as well, because we were supposed to do an interview last year, but obviously things have been nuts, 90 mile an hour, so it never really happened. But you guys have had quite a struggle over the last couple of years, right, Ollie? Yeah,
quite a struggle. What with flooding, in fact, it was 2 years ago yesterday we flooded.
I saw that post you put out, yeah.
So, yeah. And obviously when we flooded then, we only thought we'd be shut for 8 weeks maybe, hopefully, and that 8 weeks turned into 15 months, what with a global pandemic in between, and then a further 20-year flood in January last year. So the water was across Smithfield Road and in the pub twice in that 15 months.
And we were just saying that you've been here for many years, right?
I've been here since December 2005, so 16 years. And then Kev came on board during the pandemic.
What were you thinking?
Optimistic.
Very optimistic. How does a business like this survive the floods, constant floods? Every couple of years, the same thing happens. I mean, obviously, there's a huge bit of fight in you. But how do you keep going? How do you do that?
Oh, many sleepless nights manning the pumps and stuff like that. But you've got to keep going. You don't want to give in. Life's always a battle, and there's always obstacles to get by. But the flooding, kind of got used to it after a few years. The first few times, flooded back in 2006, 2007, 2008, it was a nightmare. But then after that, I got used to it. It became routine almost. Getting up, checking the pumps every half an hour and stuff like that all through the night. And it was fine. But obviously we never had a major flood that came across the road in the first 14 years I was open, and it was only February 2019 that the first major catastrophe happened, and it did come across Smithfield Road and flooded, well, not just us but the whole town, really.
I remember a couple of years, it's actually a couple of years since I spoke to him actually, so I definitely need to get him back on. But James Hitchin over at the album, and he's like, it's seepage, more seepage that gets you when it kind of comes up through the ground.
Well, that's how it used to, well, in fact it will be in a couple of hours. Our old cellar under the pub, which is now just a big empty void because we've moved our cellar ground floor level. But the old cellar, in probably an hour's time, the water will be seeping through the walls and the floor, and it will be coming back in as the river is creeping up as we speak.
You got fight in you, man. You got fight. You're Salopian in one of the most prime locations in Shrewsbury, but one of the most flooded as well. And there's always talk about the riverside as well, all the developments that are going on there. Are you guys excited about what's going to be going on there? Yeah?
Oh, massively excited. I mean, the drawings look, from our point of view, they look incredible and they're brilliant. Practicality, I can see arguments on both sides, because moving Smithfield Road or getting rid of Smithfield Road completely I don't know how they would do it. So there's lots of obstacles for them to get around. It's a long way down the road. I mean, they first started speaking about the Riverside development in 2012, so that's 10 years ago, and nothing's happened apart from 2 different sets of architects' drawings, which both looked amazing. The last ones came out about 4 years ago, and then these ones came out last week. So it all looks great, and from our point of view, it's on our doorstep, so it'd be brilliant for us, brilliant for the trade, hopefully brilliant for the town. But how it happens, where the money comes from to pay for it, how many years it takes to happen, it could be 20 years before it's done.
Yeah,
I mean, they're talking about, if you look at the Northwest Relief Road, that's been going on, 30 years, and they still haven't made their mind up on that. Or the swimming baths in town, that's been going on 15 years.
They need to do something. That my boy goes to the swimming lessons at the quarry there, and I look at that building and I think, this place hasn't changed since the 80s. Come on. It's exactly the same. Like, they haven't even painted it. Like, it does its purpose, but I feel like, it just needs something, especially something that utilises that riverside in a better way. If we can utilise that space and make it look glamorous and sexy, I think that's the best thing. And what I want to do with the biscuit is I want to have some healthy conversations about this. If it is going to be a huge change to the people of Shrewsbury, let's have conversations about it so we can wean people into the idea rather than have negative. No, I don't want it. Yes, I do want it. Let's just talk about the ways that we can sort of get used to this and ways we can sort of, compromise, I think is the word.
Well, hopefully it will bring a lot of footfall into the town.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people who are saying it won't, but I don't agree with that. If you look at other towns and cities that have rivers similar to us, Chester is for one, Stratford upon Avon's another, and then
Wrexham had Eagles Meadow thing built, didn't they?
Yeah, you look at other cities, and Reading, that's one, and then you've got bigger cities like Liverpool and stuff like that. They all utilise the river and waterfronts massively.
Birmingham looks beautiful in the summer.
Yeah, Birmingham and the canals and everything like that, and Manchester and the canals, they all make a massive effort, and it brings people in. And Shrewsbury has never done it. Yeah. With the exception of the quarry, which used to just have the flower show, but now actually the quarry is getting utilised really all year round.
Huge shout out to the folks like Beth Heath and the flower show, that are bringing things in.
Yeah, so the quarry's really changed for the better. In the 16 years I've been open, there's so many events now, and but that's the only bit of the town that utilises the river really. Yeah. And it could potentially have so much more potential, massive, I believe, and yet the riverside development would hopefully utilise all of that. They're talking about parks, they're talking about bars, cafes, restaurants, another hotel. Yeah. I think it's massive, and it will all be based around the promenade, getting rid of Smithfield Road and the promenade and the river.
Let's keep our fingers crossed that we get something soon. And you guys as well, you're developing regardless of what's going on there. Kev, you just showed me around this place. Obviously, what we're sitting under right now is a place you guys put together for COVID, right? This little middle bit here. Is that right?
It was designed specifically for COVID regulations, but obviously with thought of using it going forward once we come through the pandemic. It's a great space. It does really well. A bit challenging keeping it warm, especially on days like today. But all in all, it's been well received by customers and new client customer base. So
it's warm today.
Not too bad.
It's nice.
Just turn the heaters on.
Yeah, because the biscuit's coming around. Look after the biscuit. And you showed me around upstairs as well, which is great. You got a little loft space that you're putting together. That's going to be cool.
I mean, we struggle with our bar space at the moment. Obviously, our capacity's gone up, but the bar sizes aren't quite there to meet. So we've next door and expanding and a new bar. We've got a big 14-foot bar going in, more seating upstairs, a little bit softer feel than what we've got in the garden. It's all positive, all going well. We're chipping away at it. These things take time.
They do. And well done for showing that innovation, because it just shows that, in the face of the pandemic and the fighting, the continuous battle with the River Severn there, you guys continue to thrive and do well, and that can do nothing but inspire business owners and independent business owners.
We just keep moving forward, just keep change, embrace change and move forward. That's what we're doing.
Next to us, we've got Shelley, who we haven't really spoken to yet. I'm really sorry you had to sit there quietly. The Ale Trail. Tell us what this idea is that you've had, the Ale Trail.
So I put you on a bus, and then I take you outside of Shrewsbury into Shropshire, and I drop you off at unusual pubs in rural countryside.
You're going to pick me up in a bus?
Yeah. Well, no, I won't come to your home. I'll pick you up from here.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll take you to 9 pubs in rural countryside, as far as Ellesmere we're going.
That's a really cool idea. That's really good, because you've got these local rural pubs that probably don't get the footfall. How do you get people out into the countryside?
No, that's the problem. And there is no transport to these pubs. It's not like every half an hour. So it's purposely chosen for pubs that are a bit more out in the sticks. So the buses go straight there, and they open the doors, and people can get out and go straight into the pub.
It's an amazing idea. Really good idea. I remember years and years and years ago, I was It's when I was living in Telford. It was a Sunday night, and I was like, let's go around Ironbridge, guys. There was something open in Ironbridge. I promise you. It was completely dead. It was empty. And we ended up in the Colebrookdale Inn, which is like a proper like, old man Domino's pub, right? But it was a really nice, warm, welcoming place. And by the time we left, there's only about 4 or 5 of us. We knew everybody. We had a game of dominoes. We chatted to the barmaid and stuff. It was just a really welcoming
Did you
place.
say barmaid?
Barmaid, yeah.
Do you mean bartender?
Sorry, is that? Can you not say that anymore? No.
The bartender.
Bartender. Sorry.
She's not maid.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I apologise. But yes, there are places out there that are warm, welcoming that people just haven't seen yet.
It's true, yeah. And you don't often think, right, I'm going to go to Ellesmere or wherever, Hadnall's, go for a drink. This is an opportunity to see pubs that you would not know to go to and think, yeah, I'm going to come back here.
Nice. Where did this idea come from? What made you think of this?
About 10 years ago, I'm a marketeer, and so I was doing some work for a tourism group, and they were saying the pubs are closing in rural areas in North Wales. They're just closing. No one's going to them because at that time there was like a drinking ban, so you couldn't drink and drive. You were getting caught. And there was a smoking ban as well. You couldn't smoke inside the pub. So the footfall was less. And then also cheap alcohol in the supermarkets had a massive effect on pubs, which meant that people weren't going out through the week. And if your pub's in a village of 300 people, how are you going to survive? So you can't now get a bus there. You can't drive. And so it changed the whole culture of rural pubs. And CAMRA, you probably know, Campaigning for Real Ale.
Yeah.
I think they report something like, 25,000 pubs were being closed each week for a few years through UK.
So you have to find incentives to get people into those great old pubs. It's always sad, isn't it? There was that dilapidated old pub I used to drive past on the way to Wrexham. Was it the Lion or something? And it was just this building that was falling apart, and I was just like, that looks such a sad place, and then you had like the Lion Keys. I think that's a bit further on. But yeah, you're right. There's these places that are just outside of town that people don't think about going to, especially if you're going to go to Ellesmere or Oswestry or
Yeah, all these Cockshut. That's a good one. That's, 2 ladies just taken over Cockshut. That's in the middle of nowhere. If you live in Shrewsbury, isn't it? Would you go there? You're not sure. But also each pub is usually owned by a small business.
So you're looking at working with independents as well, like independent businesses?
Yeah, ideally. Yeah, because it's, if you've got your own business, you haven't got a team of 400 staff, have you? You're doing it yourself. So how can you market, operate, as Ollie was saying, like checking that all the water is out of the basement? You can't do everything, so something is going to slip. So the marketing side of it was really important, to put these pubs on a map to say, well, if you're not going on the trail, then try it out.
Amazing. It's great that you're doing this. I think that's really great, and it's also great for you guys reaching out and saying you want to help out. I mean, other independent bar owners, do you guys what's the communication like? Do you have friendship with other independent bar owners?
Well, Kev does more than me.
Yeah, most of my circle of friends are independent bar owners, so yeah, definitely.
So you want to help each other out and you communicate, especially when it comes to difficulties?
Definitely. I mean, I've followed the progress of the Ale Trail for a few years now, and I've always thought it's such a great idea. I mean, a lot of feedback we get from the regulars is, when they look at it, is the regularity of the buses. So it's not, you're just not just taken out there, dumped there, and you're stuck there for a certain amount of time.
They look after you.
You're free to spend a short time at the one pub and move on to the next, or spend all afternoon or even all day in the one pub. So it's the flexibility with
Get
that.
me when you come back.
Like. Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah. The buses are everything, so they drop off every 30-ish minutes and pick up. So you can stay or you can go. If the pub is very welcoming and you really like it, you can stay there all day if you want. And if you want to try the next one, you can do. So it's up to the pubs to put on a really good showcase to get the people to go on to the next pub. And that's what they do. They'll say, well, we've got this music on, we've got this ale on, we've got this food.
Ale Trail's here, Game Face Bros. Let's get this done. That's nice.
Yeah.
So when did this originally start then?
10 years ago
It was 10 years
in North
ago
Wales.
Started, yeah.
A place called Flintshire.
And it's moved from place to place where have you added like a stop on the trail that's become a new little hub for it? Is that how it's worked?
No, it depends on, because pubs change, they close, they become flats, so it changes every time I do it. So it depends. And so we just choose a selection of 8 or 9 pubs.
Nice.
Yeah, so it moves on. But, Flintshire in North Wales is really close to Wrexham, which is close to Oswestry. And so every county has their own group of really cool independent pubs. So it works, and it's meant to be about promoting that independent business. That's what it's for.
And we're good friends with the CAMRA guys as well. we've helped them out with a couple of events. They did the beer festival at St Mary's, which we went to, and the thing they did at the Abbey as well, the beer festival there.
Yeah.
That was fantastic, and they're always really friendly people, you know. And Nori, a big shout out to Nori. Good, you know, Nori, broad Scottish guy. He really looks after people, and they really do have, like, looking after independent pubs and the beer labels as well, making sure that everything is kept independent and running smoothly.
Yeah, the brewers. It's really important, that we get the right brewers, because they're small as well, aren't they?
Yes,
the brewers. So they do well too.
And what a place like Shrewsbury, like we have so many independent sort of breweries around here. It's fantastic. I mean, I remember coming here a few times. I like coming here and trying out the different from the Salopian Brewery, or the different things that got there. There was a Ghostbusters themed one I had a few years ago, and it was like treacle. It was amazing though. It was just awesome. So what's going on this year? What's your plans for it this year?
Well, it hasn't been running for 2 years, obviously.
Of course, with COVID, yeah.
We won't mention the C word.
No.
So it's the first one, and we're back. So it's the first one. So we're just organising it now. Everything's organised. We're just we're selling the tickets online. So you can buy the tickets online, or you can buy the tickets in the pub as well. But we've only got a set amount of tickets. So once they're sold out, they're sold.
I imagine there's a mad rush. With it not been running for the last 2 years, there's lots of people interested, yeah.
Yeah, and we did have some people who bought for the trail that we were meant to do that couldn't get on it. So all those tickets
have been honoured.
Yeah, been honoured for this one as well. So yeah, get your tickets quickly.
Fantastic. So with the bus as well, and what safety precautions are there? Do you have like bouncers and people on the bus just to make sure everything's safe and people are behaving?
Don't need bouncers.
No? I'm trying to understand the dynamics of this thing.
These are good-natured, well-rounded men.
Good.
But yeah, you usually see a lot of singing on the bus. All women. Yeah, you're right. There is the push of women, but it's mainly guys, isn't it? And it's guys who say, "Let's go out and you all get together." So it's about friendship. Get your mates together.
That's nice.
People might think it's a bit rowdy, but it isn't.
No, and then, I'm glad I asked that stupidly, and you put me right, because with things like the beer festivals and things I've been to, the people have actually been really nice.
Yeah.
A nice atmosphere. And what we'll have to do is maybe bring a camera and we'll have to show people.
Oh, will you come on it?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah,
just to show, because I've never been on anything like this before. Never. So to understand it, I think I have to actually see it with my own eyes. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
What a hard job.
Well, I'll be sober. I don't know. Maybe I'll have a couple. I'll bring somebody with me. But yeah, that sounds really, really fun. So the last 2 years must have been really difficult for you guys.
Well, there wasn't anything for all the hospitality events trade. It's the same, isn't it?
But the knock-on effect it must have had, across the country. I mean, we've talked about this a lot on the Biscuit. Independent business owners, bar owners, the arts industries, all these things that have really, really struggled. And you guys are offering a little bit of a lifeline to these rural bars, which is a fantastic thing. Yeah. So, and where can people find tickets? Where can people get involved? realaletrail.co.uk, or they can come here and buy tickets, or any of the bars they can buy tickets from as well. Fantastic. And what else do you work on? Is it just this you're working on, or have you got like a number of different things that you work on?
We've got a few ale trails, but we do marketing as a company, so we've got a few marketing clients as well that we do events, festivals, or normal marketing.
Fantastic. And the Salopian Bar, when are you looking at opening the loft, and how long is it going to take? You got a time scale, or is it just as and when it comes?
Well, it's subject to planning at the moment. We've got a planning application for change of use that's currently in, and that takes a minimum of 8 weeks. So hopefully, start of the summer we'll be open. We've got a little bit of structural work to do, not anything too major, and that should be it. So hopefully, when we did the change of use for the indoor beer garden, we had no objections to the planning on that, and it sailed straight through, and lots of letters of support from various businesses and different business organisations in Shrewsbury, and individual people, customers, and people who weren't even customers. So hopefully we'll get the same again, and just go through and just help us massively. I mean, we have been busy, and there's sometimes we just been turning people away left, right and centre, so to have the extra another 100 seats type thing will make such a difference for us, and also make it more comfortable in here for the people who are in. It won't be so tight and a bit more relaxed, I guess, the atmosphere, hopefully.
Yeah, with regards to, it's literally as soon as planning comes in, and everything we can do in our hands will be ready to go. Everything that's out of our hands, we just have to wait. So certainly be ready by spring.
Fantastic.
To the beer gods.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
To the beer gods, I love that. I love collaboration. I love it when there are businesses and people that work together, communicate together. And this is one of the things I found in Shrewsbury. I've been doing this for years now. And one of the patterns I find is business owners working with each other. Even if they're a competing business, it's just amazing how many businesses just talk and communicate, share ideas. And, you guys working with the Ale Trail and the Ale Trail doing what it can for rural bars, I think it's just a beautiful thing. So thank you so much for coming to talk to me about that today.
Oh, thanks for inviting us.
It's been really good. And Isla as well. I can't mention her enough. She kicked me up the butt today because I was really not in my own. I wasn't working well this morning, but
you worked really well. Yeah.
Today's one of those days where my head isn't screwed on properly. I don't understand what it is.
Friday.
It's a Friday. I can't wait for the weekend. Well, that's the thing. My weekend's gone. I'm so busy. I've got so much to do, but it's all good stuff, And I do need to tell you guys about that as well. Actually, we've got lots going on with the Rocking Horse crew. The people that listen to the show, you'll be aware we've been following a TV pilot called Karen, which they're making, and they've got a new feature film coming out called Izzy versus Jess, which they'll be recording this weekend, the last weekend as we're recording this. So we'll bring you everything for that. The Ale Trail sounds fantastic, and we will be there if you want us. We'll bring some mics and some cameras. And when the lofts open up upstairs and stuff, I'd love to come and have a look. I want to work with hospitality. We've got a nice camera now. I want to work with bars and restaurants and show people a good time in Shrewsbury. Bring in some cameras and show some good food, show some good camaraderie in a bar, and maybe we can work with you on that in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
That's good.
How can people follow the Ale Trail on social media and stuff and follow what's going on?
There's a Facebook and a Twitter page for Shropshire Ale Trail, and it's on the website as well.
Fantastic. And Salopian, you guys are on Instagram?
Instagram, Facebook.
Fantastic.
So,
Give them guys a follow. And also, guys, check out our website, which is the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.co.uk. All of our content is available on there. You can literally just press play on any of our stuff, unless you want to listen to them on Spotify and iTunes or Alexa or Google Home. And our website is made for by our good friends at Web Orchard. So if you need a website for anything, check out Web Orchard and they'll sort you out. They do a great job. They look after the Shrewsbury Biscuit and my other podcast network, You Suck, as well. I got a giggle there. That's the whole lot. All of it. So yeah, thank you very much for listening, guys. Thank you guys for letting us set up here.
Thank you very much.
And we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah, nice chat.
Peace out.